Muchachos y muchachas. Hello again, another setup. Yes, another return. Yes. I gotta jump right into this story though, because it is very, very serious. And man, this is, I know that I've read through quite a bit of, my share of stories, due to the work that I do, the outreach that I've done, in pertinence to, anti-human exploitation. But this is one of the worst stories ever that I've ever learned about. And this happened in Alabama. It was uncovered that there was a child sex abuse ring that entailed 10 children that were drugged and horrifically abused for years. I'm talking about years. Okay. I want to just warn you that this, even though this is a mainstream article and some of it is curated, and as much as I'm going to try to curate the word usage as much as possible, you're going to get the idea of what happened to these kids. And there's nothing that I can curate, hide, or, censor that's going to make it even better or land softer. This is a horrible story. I just want to warn you guys before I jump into the details, and we're going to jump right in again because this is just horrible. It's horrific. I want to give a hat tip to CAG News, where I saw this story report first. And let me tell you, these details really lit a fire under my ass again. And I'll go into that in a little bit. But let me just jump in with these details. 3 Alabama men face horrific accusations of horrifically abusing these children in different ways, in all the ways you can think of, including one as young as 3. Now, the details in this particular tweet are a bit stale because he was the first to report this like a day ago. But the ranges were from 3 to 10. And then as they arrested more people, it stretched from 3 to 15 years old. Okay. So, because of this, I just wanted to give my kudos and my hat tip to CAG News, because again, this account has been doing great at reporting these headlines. I'm going to actually go to a fresh article, that reports the more up-to-date details. But again, this lit a fire under my ass. I'm telling you guys, I ran the daily traffic for years. I started in 2019, where I just reported nothing but exploitation headlines, whether it is the rings that are busted, arrests, the CSAM, charges, all of that. And for a while, my life just got so inundated and busy. And, at the end of the day, it's just like, wow, time is just gone. And I know everybody's been there before, but this story really lit a fire under my ass, because it's like, I know why I did that. I know why I reported the headlines, because it was so important to me and still is. But it is so important for this type of detail to get out to the public, to illustrate how sick and depraved this world really is. Okay, so let me stop talking. Let me get into the details. 7 arrested in a child sex abuse case with underground bunker in Bibb County, Alabama. Okay, authorities have arrested 3 additional suspects in connection to a disturbing child abuse case involving an underground bunker, bringing the total number of arrests to 7. Okay, that's 10 children and 7 adults. So we're actually just going to listen to this, and I will give my commentary throughout.
Well, a total of 7 people are now in custody in connection to a child trafficking case involving an underground bunker in Bibb County. Some of the suspects are the children's own parents, and authorities say more victims may still be out there. ABC 3340's Gracie Johnson has more details, and we want to warn you, you may find it disturbing.
It's a case investigators say they'll never forget. Children drugged and tied up, taken underground into a bunker where strangers paid to abuse them.
I mean, this is the worst thing you could ever think of. The worst thing you could ever think of when it comes to exploitation and children. This is the worst thing you can think of. The worst thing you can think of. Okay? And I'm going to continue to let the details unveil for itself, but there are certain things that are not revealed yet. I know as of days ago, they weren't releasing the fourth person that was arrested because there was 3 people that were arrested first. And then the fourth name was not revealed. I believe they reveal everybody here, but it is just so dark, gritty, gore. Like it's bad. It's bad. Okay.
Sometimes there would be multiple people that would come by and victimize these children on a nightly basis.
10 children so far have been identified. The youngest, just 3 years old. The oldest, 15. Most of them are under the age of 10, and investigators fear there are more victims and suspects still unaccounted for.
Some of them come in as they got old enough to be desirable to a pedophile, I guess, and then some of them, their victimization started out when they were younger, and then they reached the age of 10.
Investigators say the children were sexually abused in what was described as appointments paid for by offender.
So this was a very sophisticated operation. I want you to know this was a very sophisticated operation. So you have adults who procured children. Okay. Now, I don't know that they're going to mention it in the next minute because this is only 2 minutes long, but they kidnap children. They kidnap children. Where did they kidnap these children from? And I want to keep tabs on this because I wonder how many of these children were in the CPS pipeline. How many of them were foster children? How many of them, I believe she mentioned at the very beginning, but there was a mother to some of these children. This is how demonic and sick and depraved and numb these evil people are in our world. But this, I just want to go back to it. This was a very sophisticated operation where adults procured children. Okay. Just wanted to emphasize that part. And then made appointments with other adult pedophiles that would then abuse the children.
Sometimes they could make up to $1,000 a month.
And some of the people who were supposed to protect them were the ones handing them over.
Some of these people are acquaintances, some of them are family, and some of them are just people that they were able to schedule to come to the storm shelter.
Law enforcement believed this wasn't just a local crime. It was part of an organized human trafficking network, possibly linked to a violent gang. One suspect, Andres Trejo Valquez, is believed to have connections to a gang called Serenos, a group the sheriff says profits off child exploitation. His legal status in the U.S. is now under investigation.
Where this?
So you heard it. I mean, this guy is part of what I believe to be, some Latin gang or something like that. Like, and his legal status is even in question to me. That already tells me that he might not be a U.S. citizen. So he's coming into this country and not only abusing children, but he is making a profit off of abusing American children, and let it be known that it wasn't just like this possibly illegal guy that was abusing children. It was Americans too. But you know what I mean? Like people like this, unvetted, come into our country and they make a business out of children.
It's got to come from, we don't know what he left in his trail.
Gracie Johnson reporting, and anyone with any information on this case is asked to contact the Bibb County Sheriff's Office.
You heard it right there. So if anybody watching in who has connections or are directly in Alabama and they have any information, you guys have any information, please contact the authorities. This is absolutely crazy. This is absolutely crazy. They mentioned 3 counts of kidnapping, 1 of bestiality. So they didn't mention the animals, but this is like how depraved and sick this particular operation was. They didn't just have children, they had animals down there. Now, I want to just also go back to CAG because CAG uncovered another really seedy detail about this particular operation. But apparently they also had like shock collars that they were abusing the children with. And these shock collars were basically used for torture. Now, what he's citing from an article says that it was also intended for some other usage, which I don't see how children can have that usage. But let's just say that they tortured these children with animal shock collars. So again, like, I just kind of want to go back to the picture here because, and by the way, I'm going to link this thread because this is going to show you, who these people are. CAG, has, there we go. Here we go, right here. Update on Bibb County, Alabama. Ring, 3 more arrested. The allegations against the latest suspect, one of whom is the mother of some of the victims, include them using an animal shock collar on the children's, both as a form of punishment and for, I don't know how that is, according to court documents. And this is the headline: "You can't heal from this. Shock collar used to torture kids in the underground bunker." Now, again, the details are just so sporadic. I'm going to try to get the story a little bit more together and try to illustrate this horrific thing, as far as timelines, a lot better. Because another detail that I read was that, again, the kids were drugged. Again, there were animals. They were tortured. The kids were tortured. The animals were tortured. They were chained up to like a pole. And this happened for years. Like, some of the children were captured for years. This is a humongous story. You know what I mean? Like, how are we, as a general public, how do we not know this more widely? But I wanted to just pepper that in really quick because this was just a really alarming story to read through and to learn tonight. And it's just, I don't know. I'm kind of speechless at this point because, again, this is like one of the worst stories I've ever read in my life. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.